to our house.
Sounds like Wilbur every time we do that.
Yes, welcome back, everybody, to the Bo Carver Show with the Wheels of Justice right here on 620 AM KEXB. We're here every Saturday morning from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. And I am your host, Big Wheels Bo, along with my co-host this morning, Renee Wagner. Good morning, brother.
Good morning, Renee.
Barbreanne.
Renee Wagner.
Good morning.
Elmer Fudd, wasn't it, Renee?
We're going webbit hunting?
We're going webbit hunt with Renee.
All right, Graham, that's enough.
Okay. And videographer Graham BoCarver.
Going off the edge.
Producer is Venus J. Ford. Thank you this morning for keeping us in the air on the air. And our special guest this morning, it's in our house, is Pastor Alanbias. Thank you for being here this morning.
Thank you. Hello.
He hasn't ran out the door yet, and we just gave him an earful on the break. So
We had some very interesting discussions this morning already.
Vinos had to tackle him right before he got there, though.
Vinos is a word. He's like, you can't leave yet.
So
It's all good.
the reason why Pastor's here this morning, Pastor Bias,
Because we all need him, trust
is
me.
because we met him at Windstar Casino.
That's right. My first time.
But that was for a big cause. It wasn't because he was over there trying to pull the slot machines. It was for fighting for the Forgotten, which was a great cause by Justin Wren. And that's we're all friends with them. So we met Pastor Alan there, Pastor Alan Bias there. And he informed us about a book he wrote called Walking with God in a World Gone Busy. And he also is the pastor of the Heritage Community Church in Southlake, Texas.
Yes.
So give us a little background about you now. Were you born in Texas?
No, I wasn't. I was born in northern Indiana, about 1 mile from Michigan.
All of our guests are never born here. What's up with that?
I got here as fast as I could.
Yeah,
Isn't that what they say?
They all say, yeah.
That's what they all say, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
as
Actually-
I say, now it's time to go home.
Yeah. No. I actually moved here from New York City.
Okay.
New
York
City.
Yeah, get a
So born and raised in northern Indiana, and then right out of high school, I traveled with a group called Up With People.
Oh, I've heard of them. That was a musical group. wasn't
Yeah,
it?
a musical
Or were you a
group.
singer?
I was a singer-dancer in Up
Wow.
With People. Actually,
Renee is an
Got
awesome
a lot of
singer.
common, man.
Really?
Yeah, because I lived in Indianapolis for a little while and was born in Manhattan. So
Wow, I lived in
Small
Manhattan. I
world.
lived on
Okay.
Roosevelt Island.
Really?
Yeah, I lived on Roosevelt Island.
Wow.
Y'all might want to do a DNA test for y'all leave there. Y'all might find out y'all related.
You might be right.
That's Louisiana, I thought.
So
Kentucky,
Everybody's
actually.
related.
So now you moved to this area.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about how you became a pastor of your church.
Well, so I was living in New York City, and it was doing what I call the 4 dark years, where I wasn't really following the Lord so closely. And I started going to David Wilkerson's church on
Okay.
Times Square in New York City.
Right.
And a good friend of mine who I traveled the last year on the road with was going to UNT. And she invited me to come to Denton for the summer to go to a Bible school.
Oh, cool.
For the summer up in Denton.
Wow.
And so I came for the summer 1990, so 27 years ago.
Wow.
Ended up staying in this little Bible school, becoming a pastor. I started running a men's homeless shelter. I started
Was that in Denton?
in Denton, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Started men's drug alcohol rehab in Denton, 18-month in residence.
Oh, sweet.
And then I started the first women and children's homeless shelter in Denton County. And
wow.
the first one ever. They didn't have they had a battered women's shelter, but they did not have a women and children's homeless shelter.
Wow, there is a difference, too.
There's a big difference because we had ladies who were homeless because they couldn't stay at home because of threats of abuse. But until they were actually beaten up and
Right.
proved that they were battered,
They couldn't go to the-
there was no place.
That's
So
crazy.
I started a women and children's homeless shelter where you could just come with your children and everything. And
that's
so
good.
did all that for about 8 years. And that's when I first became a pastor at 26. Started the shelter when I was 28. And then from there, I ended up in Carrollton, Texas.
Oh, okay.
At
I used to live there.
Yeah, and it was sort of a wealthy North Dallas church overnight, pretty much, from dealing with drug addicts, alcoholics, homeless people.
Was that Prestonwood Baptist Church?
It was not.
Stop it.
Sounds like you came from my backyard.
It is in the shadow of Prestonwood.
I'm sure a big shadow there.
Very close to Prestonwood. Actually,
Cool.
Sojourn Church in Carrollton, Texas.
That. Awesome.
Yeah. So I went over there and pastored there for 8 years. And so it was a huge contrast. And that's what went a lot into my book, Walking with God in a World Gone Busy, because I did not even realize the presuppositions and things I had made about wealth and life and how easy it is to follow the Lord until I had that experience.
Right.
So you really were in a world gone busy, weren't you?
That's
not an over-dramatization.
It was not an over-dramatization.
Well, and not only that, with today's age of computers and fast pace going, and a lot of things that are really expensive, like our homes and our cars, and just basically everything that it takes usually in a household of a married couple, it takes them both working. That they have children, they're running off early in the morning, taking them to school or daycare, running off to work, and then doing their job and coming back, picking them up, and running and preparing dinners. And so, a daily schedule for a lot of people is just busy, and there's just not a whole lot you can do about it to maintain just a normal type of lifestyle. Not necessarily reaching for the stars per se, but just kind of a normal lifestyle. And I think that's where it gets real difficult for people to maybe have that walking with God during that situation of so busy.
Or some days they're just too tired. They just don't want to go anywhere.
So what did you, in your when you wrote this book, what did you find out? I guess I'm getting to the meat too quick. You don't have to tell us.
I'd love to.
You don't have to tell us the end of the story.
There's enough meat here.
Okay, good. You're not talking about my weight, are you?
No.
I was going to say, he's sitting next to me today, so.
He looked right at me when he said, "There's extra meat here for sure." But,
baby, you're the scrawniest person in here, so you're good.
It's going to hunt you down.
Bo, can I say one thing?
Sure.
Have you realized a lot of your guests have been linked to UNT?
Yes, I just realized that. I didn't know that you had that link.
Yeah,
there,
my wife graduated from UNT, and like I said, my friend I traveled with went to UNT.
Well, it's a nice big college, and it offers a lot.
You had that.
Well, Barbreanne Sanders went to
Stephanie went to UNT. Mean Green.
Yeah.
Renee's back in the green right now.
Yes, with this green shirt.
UNT has a lot of great musicians come out.
It does.
A lot of local bands here too.
Yeah, it's known for its musicianship. Number one.
Yeah.
Maybe,
it's a very artistic school in all ways.
Yes.
Writing and everything.
My wife and this girl who told me about the Bible school, both musicians.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, but when I talk about this book, I say this: what if there was something that could undermine completely all of your prayer, all of your Bible study, all of your efforts, everything you do? What if there was some hidden switch that could just nullify all of it? And I often
Did you find that switch?
Oh yeah, I did. It's a real switch, and I often start I often do my seminars. I tell people that, and they look kind of scared, like, "What are you talking about?" And I go, there is something that can undermine and nullify all of it."
And people want instant gratification.
Well, now this book is kind of fresh off the press, so you don't have a lot of access as to where they can get the book. But do you have some areas right now where they can get it if they want to purchase the book?
Yes. The easiest way to get a book is to email me.
Okay.
And so my name is Alan Bias, ALAN, B as in boy, IAS. And my email address is alanbias@alanbias.com.
There's a lot of Alan biases.
There's a lot of
bias in there, isn't it?
So we're going to tell you not to be biased when you go to alanbias@alanbias.com. And so that's where you can get the book. You can email Alan, Pastor Alan, at alanbias@alanbias.com, and then that way y'all can converse on how to get the book to you. So it's a book that's intriguing to me because I do know, and I've had some conversations with Renee about some sort of these kind of things, how it's difficult to live
1 minute
close to God and to be so busy. Because we got into a conversation, in fact, that we have my neighbor was raised Amish. and we talked about how that simple life doesn't is not so bad.
Yes.
When you can have that a lot of the materialistic things out of the way, and a lot of things that they don't participate in, kind of frees your mind maybe to get a closer walk.
Absolutely.
And so that's
30.
That's what we're going to come back and talk about when we come back off the break, and we got to take one right now, Pastor. You are listening to the Bo Carver Show. Today is the Bible hour.
We always have a Bible hour.
The Graham Carver reading show.
God bless.
And don't go away, because we got more to go here on 620 AM KEXB.